Reese and I are here to discuss one of the first steps that you take when you begin Tulpamancy, which is narration, where you begin to build the back and forth between you and your Tulpa through narration. Let's talk about it. So, for anyone that's ever read a book or been through a regular English class, we all know what a narrator is, right? They talk about what is going on in the scene, and they describe, the like what the scene looks like, what each person is doing, maybe what it smells like in the room, what it looks like, the colors, the weather, all that stuff. They give detail to the scene. So in Tulpamancy, what you are doing by narrating, and I'll exactly get into how that interplays in a second, is you are building the ideas and the thoughts of communicating with someone else who is not there physically. It is pre-programming your brain to discussing things with an entity, with a presence, with another consciousness within your own or around you in your energy field, depending on how you take it, whether you're a regular tulpamancer or a meta tulpamancer or a regular tulpamancer or a magician or whatever you want to, however you want to differentiate those things. So when you are narrating, it's the same thing as like being on the phone. Whatever you're doing, you are describing it. Now I'm running up the stairs. Oh, I'm doing this, when I'm doing whatever. When you're tying your shoes, you're talking about how you're moving the laces. When you're cooking, you're talking about exactly what you're doing. Act like you're talking to somebody on the phone because they can't see what's going on. Try to be as descriptive as possible. Now, the difficulty is, some people may feel nervous and they may feel awkward where they feel like they're talking to themselves, but the intention has to be there that you're talking to somebody else. If you already have a personality defined for your tulpa, you can kind of get an idea of like how they would respond to it, and you're waiting for that response to happen. You can get an idea of what they like or what they dislike, different things that you can talk about, whatever really is going on in your head, whatever you're doing out here in the physical world, or whatever you're thinking about. Act like you're talking on the phone to someone else, because you are building that intention of communicating with another entity, with another being, with another consciousness. So you are pre-programming the back and forth. It's like when somebody calls you, you're the first person to say hello. Or if you can't hear someone on the other end of the phone, you're saying, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'll move to another place with better reception, blah, blah, blah. Even though you might not hear them, you're still talking to them. That's the idea. You're building a practice. You're building an association. You're building a behavior where, it's like the training wheels when it comes to communicating. Or even like practicing a speech where you're imagining yourself in front of everybody else talking about it, and what it would be like to have someone else be there interacting with you. So narration is one of the most interesting things, because what happens for a lot of people is as they begin to narrate and hold the intention that they are focusing on someone else and communicating with someone else, they might have that magic moment of a response, either by feeling an emotion that comes from like out of nowhere, or having a random thought that comes up that it literally comes out of nowhere, or they might have a disembodied thought that replies to whatever they're thinking, you know and that is when you start to build the vocality back and forth. Now, narration can also be used, and there's a lot of like cautionary things about this, where actually this would be termed parroting, where you not only narrate what you are doing or whatever you want to talk about, but you are kind of building how they respond to you. So you have a thought, and then you reply to that thought with the intention that this is how your tulpa would respond. There are cautions against it, because it's almost like too much training wheels, or you're too much holding their hand in terms of um, guiding them too much. I mean, have you ever been in a conversation with someone where they tell you exactly what to say or exactly how to respond? It kind of seems a little bit demeaning. So I would really guard against the idea of parroting. Um, in regards to that, because like I said, I feel like it's too much training wheels. The difficulty with narration is always holding the intention of who you're talking to. You might just find yourself talking to yourself, and you gotta pause, and you gotta be like, okay, I'm not exactly thinking about talking to them anymore, so let me rewind and blah 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 blah. It can help if you already gave a name for your tulpa, where you would begin every sentence or every statement that you make with their name, or include their name in every sentence or every couple of sentences or what have you, because that would also program the intention in there of this is who I'm talking to. And that way it can, it's more of a direct way of being able to communicate, this is what I'm doing, this is who I'm talking to. And but I would caution against using it too much. That try that out for starters, as training wheels. I keep using that analogy, but then kind of let go at it once you get into the habit of narrating things, and building the idea of a back and forth, and you might have that that aha moment where you get that response. So, yeah, that's pretty much narration in a nutshell. Let me know what you guys think about this. You can drop stuff in the comments. You can email me at priestthethenecro@gmail.com. You can always check out any of my other videos for general magic and the Simon Necronomicon if you are interested in magic and the Necronomicon and the occult in general. I have playlists for those things. You can also check out my theories of magic playlist, where I discuss the various things that actually make magic function. You can also check out the rest of the videos on this Tulpamancy playlist if you are interested in learning more about Tulpamancy. If you are interested in the Necronomicon Gatewalking, I have my Guide to the Spheres and Beyond, which is on barnesandnoble.com and amazon.com. And I also have my book Magical Theater back there in the blue, which is on the mechanics of, which is on magic and psychology, how they interplay, and how both energy and psychology interact to create changes in your everyday life and in your psyche, both inside and out, and how all the different ideas and practices in ritual are used to create that dramatic change in your mind and in the energy around you. So let me know what you guys think, and good hunting.